Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Beliefs Bazaar. My name is Alex. This is another episode of Smoking and Talking, where I enjoy a adult beverage and hit my vape pen, which is definitely just nicotine. Just so we're clear on that. And by vape pen, I mean, oh, it's not even on. Haha! What do you know? I've been drinking a little bit. All right. Sorry. That's a big preamble. This episode in particular is about flat earthers again. And I've been watching some content, which, I've been watching not just the debunking content, but the actual content that flat earthers spread amongst themselves. And I really don't understand a couple things. And so I'd just like to pose a simple question, and please answer in the comments, or if you must email me, I'll leave that in the description, because I actually want to engage with people who want to have an honest conversation. If you want to actually engage with me and talk to me about why my channel is mostly about beliefs and the nature of belief and how people get into situations based on their ideologies and how susceptible that makes you to being, pushed in one way or the other, politically or otherwise. But this particular episode, I just want to ask the question of, have you ever been around or experienced an eclipse? Now, the reason I ask that is because we have eclipses. I didn't look up how often, but it's like once a year, maybe once every other year or whatever. They're predicted well ahead of time. We know. You can look up right now, go online, you can find the next prediction for when an eclipse will be and where the path that it will take, and it will do that. I want you, the flat earthers, to explain to me how that is possible to calculate if it is not a globe model. I just want any flat earther to show anybody else, it doesn't have to be me, anybody on the fucking planet, with your flat earth model, predict the next lunar eclipse, or even just I know you have some models about stuff, but none of them accurately predicts the seasons or anything. I just want you to show us how your model works and predicts these things, because I understand, y'all have the ability, just as I do, to research and find out any of these techniques, to find out, to confirm the nature of the shape of the earth, whether it be observation of stars, the moon, the sun, or any of these other methods that we've devised. I understand y'all dismiss all that. And so the problem that everyone else has and why you're so dismissed and not taken seriously is because you're just saying that is wrong. Your model is wrong. The globe model is wrong. But then you don't have anything. You don't have anything to show how these predictions can be made with your model. It doesn't work. You have nothing. So I guess that's the crux of it for me, is that it's about predictive models. The globe Earth model predicts all of the observations that we see. It defines how much gravity exists. It is the precursor for all of our modern technology and communications. I just want any flat earther to present a model with some math and some numbers that will predict accurately the next time the moon will eclipse the sun, or what have you, Describe with your model how any observation that we have happens. Because all I've seen from flat earthers is that they have one explanation for this one thing, another explanation for this other thing, and then the stars must be these separate disks that are in the northern and southern what we think of as north and south. Like, what is north and south in your model? Like, how does that even make sense? What is north? What is south? It's just a matter of your model doesn't prove fucking anything, and it doesn't predict anything, and it doesn't describe anything in a meaningful way that we can then build technology off of. And the established models that we've developed as a society, as not just a society, but as a human culture, as humans, our species has made these observations for millennia, and we've come up with these models that predict everything. That's why the globe model works. That's why we've come to this conclusion, is because it is what defines our reality mathematically and otherwise. Every prediction we make, every model that we make, every equation that we derive from these observations fits what happens, what our observed reality is. And I just honestly have a hard time believing that anyone who propagates this flat earth conspiracy it even believes it. I just think you're all trolling us. I honestly don't believe you because it's so absurd. Like, as many people who debunk the flat earth say, like, children understand this. I understood this when I was a child. We had a telescope and I could look at the sky and we could fucking watch the stars move around and we could make note of it. I mean, I wasn't trying to prove the earth is flat at the time, of course, but the thing that I was taught about the globe and the stars and all those things, like, they matched with what I observed in the night sky. My father and mother and I could go out in the yard with the telescope and we could know from the thing that we were, from an astrological thing, at this time of night, at this position in the hemisphere that we are in the northern hemisphere, this part of Oregon where I lived when I was younger, at this time of night, we would see this specific star or constellation in a specific part of the sky, and then it would move as predicted. I just want to know, what the fuck? Why do you dismiss that? What is it? Why are you so incensed by the idea of conceding to the established human base of knowledge? I mean, I don't know. I know I was the type of person that would argue a point ad nauseum because I didn't want to look like I was fucking stupid, right? Luckily, I've matured past that point, and now I actively seek out knowledge, and I'm ready to be wrong, and I actually hope to be wrong, because then if I know that I'm wrong about one thing, I can refine my beliefs and my ideas into a more cohesive, coherent, and accurate description of whatever the thing I'm interrogating, right? I just don't get it. I don't understand. Help me understand, please, in the comments. Just tell me why you dismiss all this stuff, the established base of knowledge of humanity, and then give me a model that will describe the next eclipse, right? Or even just predict where stars will be in the sky. Describe how that works. And it needs to coincide with every other thing, because we don't have the established science on astrological information is that this model fits every observation. Every single observation we make fits this model. And sure, there's some refinement every now and then, but to say that we have a more accurate description of either like a distance or an age of a thing or any of those other things, to refine it doesn't negate the established foundation for which that prediction was derived in the first place. It just means that we have more accurate tools and a better ability to describe our reality, right? So I guess just the arguments for flat earth are fucking weak, and they don't show anything. They don't predict anything that we can observe. So why are y'all so stuck on this? I honestly, at this point, I need evidence that you all are not just trolling the fuck out of everyone, because I think the propagators of this flat earth myth are attempting to neutralize all of you politically, because they take this thing, if you could believe the flat earth, well, just so you know, everyone who believes the globe earth is out to get you, or fucking lying to you about everything else, right? So if they don't believe that the earth is flat, they can't be trusted to tell you anything else, right? That, I think, is the purpose of the flat earth ideology, is to neutralize you against those who would have your best interests at heart, those that would advocate for your prosperity and your equality and justice for all peoples. You have been aligned against those people because you believe this fucking thing, and you've been told that people who don't believe that thing can't be trusted, okay? So I need you, the flat earther, to tell me a model that predicts anything, and furthermore, tell me why you are not turned against other people for political gain of whoever told you about the flat earth. And then lastly, I'll say, it's okay to be wrong. You know, it's not a big fucking deal. Or it is. It is a big deal. It is a big deal personally. I remember when I had to, in my early 30s, I came to this realization about all the bigotry and misogyny that I had internalized. And it was devastating to me. I felt like, who the fuck am I if all these ideas that I had about myself and my relation to other people and my relation to women and what the world is like, if I had all these ideas were wrong, and not just wrong, but I was in my 30s, I had been a fucking asshole about it in most of my 20s. And I was never a flat earther or anything, but I was a misogynist, fucking bigoted asshole, okay? When you have the realization that you have been fucking so just wrong about almost everything you believe up to that point, that fucking sucks, and that hurts, and it is difficult to fucking wrap your head around it. It's difficult to accept. I had many days where I was just physically ill because of it. I literally was throwing up or nauseous all day because I just had this realization, especially, you know, with my girlfriend at the time, but my wife now, you know, I realized that I had just been so fucking mean to her so many times. And I wasn't, you know, I didn't think I was an asshole because I didn't hit her and I didn't call her a bitch. So therefore I must have been a great guy, right? Absolutely not. I did not respect her as an equal. I did not, it doesn't matter. But the point is, it was devastating to realize how fucking wrong I had been about so many things. And that's painful. But you know what? It's courageous, and it shows strength to address the ideas that you have that are wrong and correct them. That is strength. And just because, you know, some fucking dude can kick my ass doesn't mean that he's more of a man than me, because I'm willing to address my flaws and work on them in a way to make me a better person. And if you're not willing to do that, then, you know, somebody has won. Somebody has won and are pushing you and directing you in a myriad of ways. And you don't even know, because you're not even willing to address the fact that you could be wrong about anything, much less the fucking shape of the world. We're on this fucking thing, man. My God, I am so frustrated with the nature of these belief systems that are so detrimental to our society growing and being prosperous and all these other things. So that's kind of my rant, if you want to call it that, for this evening. But my God, dude. Grow a pair and address your fucking shit, all right? Just fucking take a look at yourself and decide what kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be a kind of person who has these rigid beliefs, who is just led around by the fucking ideology to just do whatever the fuck you're directed to do? Or do you want to challenge that and say, hey, maybe I'm actually not the smartest person in the room, but I am just starting at the bottom of the pile as far as like knowledge goes. That's okay. We all have to start somewhere. It's just hard to accept that when you're an adult already. It's tough. I get it. But be fucking courageous. Be strong. Address your bad ideas. And fucking join the community. Join the community of people who only want the best for each other. Okay? Because that's the community you chose to excise yourself from when you chose to believe just a bunch of things that have no credibility whatsoever. And your inability to recognize that as credible or uncredible is a personal flaw that you're going to have to address. And, you know, there's therapists for that. I have a therapist that helped me through the worst of my revelations about, you know, who I am and who I want to be. You know, it's tough. It hurts. It can be painful, but that only makes us stronger. It only makes us stronger. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Or day. Whenever you're watching. Peace.